match between Theude and Freakeh. And this is a pretty interesting series, the first time we saw it.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Yeah.
Both of them vetoing the Hunter, and can see a rematch of Shaman Warrior. Yeah, definitely a very dynamic matchup. Should be going either way.
All right, so we do have, this is again the rematch of the exact same classes that they started with last time, Freakeh with the Shaman. He was able to take out Theude's Warrior in the first match. And we'll see whether that is going to be the case once again.
Coining out pressure immediately. This should be interesting. I don't know, it kind of favors Freakeh, the starting hand, I would say. He plays a very, very aggressive Shaman and seems to be getting some aggression here, definitely. But wow, a very nice Cruel Taskmaster, so he can axe and go into Cruel Taskmaster next to him for the clear.
Yeah, really, really nice to have that Fiery War Axe here to start things off. Really going to help him maintain a little bit of board control.
I think he's opting for the armor up here to kind of avoid the possibility of Flame Tongue Totem if he clears with the Fire War Axe.
Right. Now, we also do have a Belcher here for the mid-game and drawing into a Sylvanas as well for later. Meanwhile, over on the other side, the hand that we have for our Shaman player also looking reasonably decent. He's got a Fire Elemental for later on in the game. Got a Rock Biter as well. And of course, with the pressure from that Haunted Creeper coming out early, he's got a bit of board control himself here.
Theude playing very passively, and I kind of like this, definitely. I mean, yeah, there's no Flame Tongue Totem, so I guess there's no rush. He's taking 1 damage per turn, and he can kind of, you know, get out of that with armor, really. So we should be seeing a Fire Axe and armor up here, probably.
Right, going to be giving it a little bit more deliberation by the looks of it, but it does look like the best move, and there we go, going to take out that Taunting Totem and armoring up once again, like you mentioned, so just being able to continue that armoring up, he's, like you said before, he doesn't really have to worry too much about taking 1 damage each turn, as he's just basically going to out-armor that anyway.
The thing with Shaman here is, like, they can really, you know, get out of control if you let them build up a board, and there's not a lot of removal in Theude's hand, so it can get out of hand, but it's looking good at the moment.
Yeah, we do have an Execute and a Shield Slam here, but of course his armor is not particularly high yet, so Shield Slam's not at the point where it's basically auto-kill on anything, and of course Execute's not really going to be too helpful unless he has something to do some damage. Up to 5 mana now. He could go for the Belcher, but
I think the Belcher is the most likely play here. I'm kind of interested, like, how he will actually spend the Earthshock. That will be very interesting. I mean, generally you want to use it on something like Cairn or Sylvanas, but possibly even, you know, an Akildra Pain. But if he goes for the Belcher, it would be so strong and give him so much, you know, board control with the possibility of Rock Biter. But I would really, I think Shade of Naxxramas is very likely here. He has both the Venturi and the Rock Biter, so he could get insane value out of that.
Yeah, that actually would grow to be a bit of a problem there. Yeah, so Belcher does come out here, going to be giving him that 5/3 taunt, and that's going to keep him safe for now. But this is actually, Lava Burst. It's kind of an interesting card to see in here.
Yeah, definitely, but I don't think you want to play it right now for the possibility of playing Fire Elemental next turn. Wonder what he does here actually. Like, Shade is probably going to come down, but it depends if he's going to go for the Totem or the Earthshock. I don't see him playing anything else actually.
He's hovering over that Earthshock here. Looks like he's at least considering using it. And yeah, he is going to be using that on that Sludge Belcher here. And
for 2 damage with the spell damage, but I wonder if he's actually going to go for the Rock Biter. I think he has to. Yeah, it would be strange to trade both of them in.
Yeah. So yeah,
and the Totem. Yeah.
Going to be taking out that Belcher now. And following that, does he still have enough mana for Shade? Yeah, he does. So Shade and Naxxramas comes out as well. And that's going to be growing larger and larger a threat as each turn passes on by. Shield Slam comes out, so he's got 2 of those now, but no real armor to work with at this point.
I think Sylvanas is probably the only play here, but it was manageable to begin with, but now he's just officially behind, it seems.
So do you think he just sort of sits on that stealthed Shade for now and just lets it grow a little bit more, and especially with Wind Fury in his hand, that would be pretty nice.
Definitely, I expect him to like wait at least 4 or 5 turns possibly.
The Hex coming out here for the Sylvanas as well.
There's no really good follow-up with it though. Probably a Totem, I guess, you know, but this is not kind of ideal, you know.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to use the Venturi because of the fear of you know, a brawl preempted, but I mean, there's no real
There's really nothing in the hand of Theude right now that's too much of a threat, but of course you do always have to be a little bit careful of top decks and things of that nature. Totem's going to come on down here, and well, I mean, this is a lot of creatures that we actually have on Freakeh's side of the board, but it's not at the point where they're all like really, really big and he's going to die the next turn or anything like that. But that Shade is becoming more and more of a problem as time goes by. Acolyte coming out of the deck here will be played.
I mean, yeah, like
he needs some card draw.
Yeah, definitely. But this also plays very well into his Lightning Storm, and it will make it quite interesting with that. But I mean, the Shade, I mean, he doesn't have a very good way to deal with it at all. I mean, Brawl is basically his best bet with that.
Yeah, I mean,
so at least a nice draw.
If you were to draw a shield block, you could shield block, shield slam it down, but not until it's actually revealed. So.
And there's no target for the axe, and that's really should, you know, usually not something happen with
yeah, you don't really want to use that second charge on one of those 0-2 totems, and obviously it won't take out the 2-4, and the 1-2 will give him 2-1-1. So double Doomhammer.
Quite interesting. I mean,
this is not particularly common to run 2 Doomhammers, is it?
Not at all. Jackie ran it at BlizzCon, but that's about it. No one else has been really running it recently.
There's quite a few unconventional cards in this deck.
Yeah, definitely.
From Lavaverse to the second Doomhammer. I think like we were discussing this before. There's another couple in there that are a little weird, I think.
Yeah, definitely. He's got Alexstrasza, Lothep. Obviously, the Windfury is not very common, you know. I like here as well, so there's just so much Windfury in this deck. But I mean, he just has a lot of win conditions, and with the Shaman, I mean, the hero power is strong enough. You can really get a board without even having a lot of minions on the board.
Does he have a Bloodlust? Do you know?
Probably not.
Probably not.
But it would be strong.
In this position, it would basically be not quite game, maybe even game ending.
Almost game ending, yeah.
Shield block comes out, so that's going to be nice to combo up with a shield slam if the opportunity arises. But right now, there's not really anything to really play that on.
Yeah, there's no real targets here. But
yeah.
I think Grommash is like his only.
Grommash on the 2-4.
Yeah, definitely. But it's really rough. The good thing is like his board is very low damage, so he's getting almost no damage on. You know, 1 or 3 every turn now at this point. But it will.
Grommash is not going to survive past the next turn though, almost definitely. And I mean, he's got a lot of damage in that handler from the Lava Burst over to the Fire Elemental as well.
I mean, thinking back on it, how good would a Rock Biter be in this position?
Yeah, I mean, the use of the Rock Biter earlier on.
Been insanity.
A little sad there, as I mean, it would have been great with the Windfury on the Shade. It would have been great on the Doomhammer. Belcher's going to come out here by the looks of it, not going to go for the Grom play, and also going Armor Smith, so he will be able to get a little bit of armor up here.
I kind of like this, yeah.
Yeah, this is a good play as well. I mean, as we said before, the Grom wouldn't have survived past the 1 turn anyway, so.
He's betting a lot of removal with this.
Yeah, I mean, basically, what Theude is having to do here is play for time. He's trying to play for him drawing something that'll help out. He's in a position where there's not really any fantastically great plays that he can make, and Freakeh at this point, he's got a very solid hand. He's continuing to draw. He just picked up Alec here, which will be great to have later on. And I mean, he's sitting on a bunch of cards that he doesn't need to rush to play them, but when he gets the opportunity, they're going to be fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's basically taking Time Bomb, this Shade of Naxxramas with the Windfury. But, I mean, also long term, he only has very few taunts. He probably only has the double Belcher.
And most one of them is already gone.
So, this is his last taunt, most likely.
And there's the Lava Burst on it, so down it goes. He's going to get the 1-2 Slime, but that is not going to be long for this world.
I wonder if he actually Lightning Storms. He probably doesn't, no. Yeah. I think it's the right play to go for that.
He was hovering over it for a second. Well,
he's considering it.
He is.
I mean, there's no real. I mean, he's not going to probably get a much better value for it, but it's also giving him extra armor, so it's interesting. He also has the second Doomhammer. When you think about it, he might possibly get to play the second Doomhammer.
Yeah.
The first time I see that, at least.
Oh, here comes Windfury. That's going to be going out for that Shade of Naxxramas. 10 damage.
I kind of like this. I mean, he's saying like, I don't want to wait for you to draw Brawl here. You know, I'm just going to go for it. You obviously don't have it, so yeah.
Well, he is going to be able to use the shield block, shield slam combo, and drawing the second one means that he's going to have the combo available again for when that Fire Elemental or something like that is to come out. So I think he has to use that combo at this point. Otherwise, he's just sitting on 12 more damage to his face.
There's a possibility using the Spellbreaker and the Fire War Axe, but yeah, you could also do the shield slam here.
Yeah.
Acolyte of Pain doesn't do much good. He doesn't really need cards here. He kind of more needs minions on the board.
Although once he does get rid of that Shade of Naxxramas, the board becomes a lot easier to deal with. There's still the Alec here in the hand and the Fire Elemental to consider, but it's the 4 other things on the board right now are not particularly dangerous. They're a nice presence to have, but down goes that shade.
And he drops the Acolyte. It's interesting. Definitely very interesting. I mean, there's no real silence target in Shyamana, you know.
No.
Except
I mean,
possibly
Alakir maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, he always kind of hops the Divine Shield on the first turn, but there's possibility of the Manatha turn, which I doubt that he actually runs. And Alexstrasza, well, that's really strong for next turn here.
Yeah,
he had the Overlord, so he obviously couldn't play the Alexstrasza now, but next turn it would just be probably lethal, I guess.
Yeah, the Black Knight, I mean, it's another thing that you can use on the Alakir, but as you said, he's nearing on lethal next turn unless something happens, and right now he's already sitting on 9 damage on the board, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 13, I can't count. 13 damage on the board, not including what he actually has in his hand. Alexstrasza, though, that doesn't really help. Gonna go for another shield block. You can shield slam into the fire elemental. And
the follow-up interests me here. Like, will he actually go for the Spellbreaker? I think he kind of has to. I mean, he has to get stuff out. He can't really be holding stuff back at this point.
Yeah.
It's getting really desperate.
And I guess you go with the silence on the Haunted Creeper.
Yeah,
not really any particularly good targets for it at the moment.
Yeah, definitely.
And then armor up behind that, maybe Fiery War Axe on the Haunted Creeper as well, following the Spellbreaker. And
yeah, I really like that play.
Yeah, I mean he's not going to die by the looks of it next turn. Especially with the armor up, he'll be up to a total of 26 health, and he's holding on. He's doing a good job holding on. He actually does have a couple of formidable cards in his own hand now. He's sitting on the Grom still. He's got the Black Knight, the Alexstrasza, and now a Gorehowl as well. So if he can weather this storm, maybe pull a Brawl out, there's still hope in this for Theude.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I mean, the Black Knight on the Alakir is one possibility of him coming back to this, but I think Grommash is almost definitely going to come down next turn.
Yeah. And otherwise,
we're looking at a Fire Elemental now, incoming. I think it's definitely the right play here. He can totem with along with it, you know, but I wonder if he actually attacks the Doomhammer into it and plays another next turn.
I think it's definitely worthwhile. I mean,
but he may want to actually go Alexstrasza soon. I mean,
true.
The armor is almost out here.
At the same time, though, is it worth going Alexstrasza here with very, very little payback as far as the actual health change goes, or
probably?
I guess you get the 8/8 on the map, which is nice, but getting the Taunter as well is going to be reasonably nice. There's the Brawl.
And the Brawl. Does he actually save it? That's an interesting thing.
Yeah, that's the question now. He is going to play it, and well, 1 in 5 chance that the Fire Elemental survives. Let's see if the Fates are with him. And yeah, that's going to mean that it's going to be the Spell Power Totem that survives. It's a very, very good play there for Theude, clearing the board for the most part. Still the Alakir and the Alexstrasza in hand, though, so this is far from over, and he's going to be able to get that map control, or the board control, back temporarily at least, but it's a lot of legendaries in both their hands now. Indeed,
a very expensive hand with the Goldens for Theude, but a Rockbiter, what a huge draw here.
Yeah, especially with that Alakir and the Doomhammer.
I think Alexstrasza is coming down here, but it would be very rough. Like, he needs something to remove this immediately, or he's in big trouble here. And the Death Bites does not do it, unfortunately.
No. This is really, really quite a bit of trouble for him. And with the Rockbiter plus the Doomhammer next turn, if he can't remove that Alexstrasza, he's looking at lethal.
Yeah, this is. I mean, what do you actually play
I guess he
here,
has to Grom sacrifice that into the Alexstrasza and execute, which will keep him alive. Yeah. It's not a great move, but it'll keep him alive.
I think it's actually the best play in this situation.
Yeah.
Here. It's very desperate, but yeah, it's I mean, you can't take 8 to the face with all of this.
Anything else, he's just risking a whole myriad of potential deaths here, and he really has to get rid of that Alexstrasza, and it's really the only way he's going to be able to.
Another thing, he actually knows, like, he's played this deck against the deck before, so he knows how aggressive it is, really.
And just a reminder that the Shaman actually did win this last time around as well, so this is looking. Theude is looking very, very frustrated here, and he is going to go for the Grom trade, and that's going to be the end of Mr. Gromish.
I think
actually he is still alive, but
I mean, considering that he picks the Shaman again, like, that kind of tells me that he may have been like feeling like he could have won the previous matchup, you know.
Yeah, I didn't actually see the game. Presumably it was relatively close, or maybe he just got a really bad hand. But so the Grom's still alive here. Do Lightning Storm to deal with that, or I mean, he has Feral Spirit now as well, so I guess Feral Spirit Doomhammer would be the play.
Yeah, he doesn't even need to deal with it if he plays Feral, I guess. But I mean, a Black Knight, he definitely could come back here.
Yeah, this is far from over here, especially because I mean, Alakir, of course, is taunt, so the Black Knight would deal with that as well, and he's still sitting on the Alexstrasza as well. So in the event that he does get down fairly low in health, you can replenish that up to 15 once again.
I think, I don't know, I kind of like Alakir toteming here. I don't know, trading into the 10-1, but it's interesting. This is such a huge like overload. Looking at potentially 4 overload for next game basically here. It's quite
that would
huge.
still enable him to play the Doomhammer and the Rockbiter though. So I mean, he's not looking at anything particularly expensive.
Wow, I'm really surprised about that. That's almost want to say a misplay there.
That gets rid of the Rockbiter, which is 6 damage on the Doomhammer that could have, or the Alakir that could have come down, and that's yeah. I mean, he's sitting on a couple of 2/3s now, but do Black Knight to kill one of those?
I think you have to, but I mean, in this scenario, let's say he Black Knights and kill the other one with Death Spite. I mean, how much damage is that? That's actually 12 damage. He would die with that. So Black Knight, I guess, hero powering is the only way he's actually staying alive here. But yeah, no, he overloaded for 40, so he can't play the Alakir. So he's actually fine with going Death Spite here.
And Black Knight, yeah. So I mean, we'll see if he plays the Black Knight as well, but.
I mean, he can actually Alexstrasza himself next turn. You know?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. And he will play the Black Knight, so he gets himself a little bit of board control here. Alakir's the only minion in the hand here now for Freakeh. And Alakir's nice, but Flame Tongue...
I mean, it basically
it would go well with the Alakir next turn, but for this turn, he's just forced to attack into face. And with an Alexstrasza sitting there, this is essentially 2 durability that's just been wasted on that Doomhammer.
I mean, this has to tell like Theude that something crazy is going on, you know. But
he's gotta go with the Alexstrasza. How much damage does he have with the Flame Tongue Totem and the Alakir?
It's 14. Yeah.
14. Yeah. So the Alexstrasza actually allows him to survive this.
Yeah. But again, like he has no taunt, and we get quite rough. He's at 1 health, you know.
He's got to get rid of that totem though, because then the Flame Tongue comes out and gives that +2, and he's dead.
I mean, in this scenario, he still uses both shield slams. He shields both shield blocks, both slap belchers. So he's only on. He's gonna be put down to 1 health if he goes for the combo. Unless Freakeh here, but I mean, yeah, only 2 health per turn, and I'm wondering if he takes him down to 1, is there any card he can possibly draw that will save him? I don't think there is actually.
He's dead now because
of course you can buff.
So the Flame Tongue can come out and give that extra 2 damage that he needs.
He didn't trade into it.
So that's a bit of a misplay here, and that's going to cost him the game. And the Shaman will win against the Warrior once again, putting Freakeh on the board 1-0 against Theude.
Great match, actually.
That was a
very
very close game, and things looked a little bit rough from the beginning for Theude, but he did a good job to make a really good game out of that, and really could have gone either way.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see. So this is not a deck that we've seen out of him in the last series. I'm not quite sure if he used it against Dorgan. Looks like Wikipedia is not quite updated, but there we go.
But I mean, if we look at it from Theude's perspective, like there's no deck more aggressive than no Shaman more aggressive than Freakeh. So I mean, the less aggressive Shaman should be favored, I guess, you know, in this situation. So I like Theude's position here.
What do you think of the starting hands?
It's very interesting. I'd say that about even actually. I mean, they both have some early game, but kind of depends. I think Urshaking here would not be horrible if he gets the spell totem, but it kind of depends.
There we go. Well, we'll see if he decides to play it out. He's thinking about it. Hovering over the coin for a second there.
We put him on Feral Spirit next turn, but then he couldn't play anything on the follow-up there except the totem. And instant board control is really a lot in Shaman vs Shaman because you can kill the totem over and over. Like the Urshiok here, he kind of forces the Feral Spirit, goes Feral Spirit himself, and it's interesting there.
Then you end up in a position where you're both overloaded and can't really do particularly much the next turn.
Yeah.
And you can't really do much because the Feral Spirits can't kill one another. Well, he does end up going for that Earth Shock there. Coin's gone.
But I mean, now we're going to see Feral Spirit, probably Feral Spirit again. I mean, he could possibly go Lightning Bolt. Here power Lightning Bolt, but if he goes Feral Spirit, he could trade both of the wolves into 1 wolf or Freakeh and kill the other one with a Rockbiter. That'd be quite nice of a tempo.
Right. Well, we'll see whether or not Freakeh does opt for that. Pulling a Hex, not something you want to be using right now. The Lightning Bolt, like you said, is another option, but we'll have to wait and see. He is giving it a little bit of thought. Doesn't want to rush this out too quickly. Yeah, looks like it is going to be the Feral Spirit, so...
But this is quite rough for Freakeh. He's in a lot of trouble here.
Oh.
I wonder, yeah.
Townhouse
I mean, he
comes out
has
as
to be
well.
rock biter in his facing, then killing both the wolves with 2/2/1s to kill all the totems following up. And also, he'll be overloaded now quite heavily. He'll have two mana on the follow-up.
Yeah, the only thing he can really do with the current hand he has is either hero power or use the lightning bolt, and you don't really want to be using a lightning bolt on something that only has 1 health.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if he uses a totem, he'll get instantly killed. So that's a lot of tempo here, definitely.
Well, things are looking up for Theude. He's not. He's actually ahead this time around. Last game he was in a bit of a rough spot this time at around turn 4, but he is going to be taking your advice there, going for that rock biter and trading in. Gives him really, really nice board control here, sitting on 2/2/1s with taunt against just the 0/2 spell power totem.
I guess gold over non-gold, you know. Yeah. Wow.
Oh wow. Okay. Opting to actually save the health on that feral spirit and clear the entire board.
That's very interesting. Yeah. I mean, there aren't a lot of targets for the for the silence there in the shaman. There's, I guess, the mana title which he knows that he's not running. There's a flame tongue and there's the belcher pretty much. You know. I mean, I like here. Yeah.
There is the potential to clear the board here with the lightning bolt and the rock biter, but it's not really. That's 2 cards that you don't particularly want to be using to clear out 2/2/3s. So
I think one rock biter is probably gonna come down here and nothing else.
Yeah, there's not really particularly many other options there. As he said, he's overloaded. The only things he can play are those, and it is going to be a lightning bolt that he opts to play on the 2/3 there. So that's going to go down.
It means he can, like,
he is using both.
It's either keeping a lightning bolt and playing a belcher next turn against against a 2/1, or playing a non-miss against a 2/1. It's like it's a lot better to actually just non-miss on an empty board, I guess. But that's a really rough hand for Theude now. Like,
yeah, he doesn't really have much this turn. He's going to be getting that taunter, so Thalnos is a little bit protected here, but well,
this will be quite good. He has to play the non-mission inventor.
He does get a Shade and Aximus, but yeah, the inventor is probably better. He does want to get some card draw there. And,
but he sets up really nicely for the fire elemental on next turn.
Earth Shock too.
Interesting, but he has to trade him in, I guess. He doesn't want to get Earth Shock there.
Fire elemental to finish it off.
Definitely. And again, he keeps the tempo up. One tempo.
I actually kind of like the hand that we have with Theude now, just because there's double hex and an additional fire elemental plus the flame tongue totem there.
Yeah, it plays very well into Freakeh's hand here, definitely. Like,
Alexstrasza.
Are we gonna see a fire elemental and taunt totem? Are we gonna see a slot belcher? It's kind of interesting here. I think. And hex, okay, that's strong. I really like this play.
Yeah. He's going to be able to get that shade out now as well, which is going to start growing. There's nothing to really deal with that.
I wonder what he goes for now. He really needs something like 3 or 4 drop, and he gets a 4 drops. That's really nice. So Totem Defender is definitely coming out here, I'd say. Kind of depends on what he's actually like, what he's actually gonna be toteming up. I think, I don't know. The best case scenario would probably be a healing totem, and then he could, buff up the other 2. But it depends.
He's hovering over the fire elemental. Not sure how much I like that, because obviously he can't target the shade as it is cloaked, or stealthed rather.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, he does have the 2 hexes, so he's not going to be too worried about that. But 3 damage to face there. Is going to be able to get himself a bit of more board control there with that 6/5. But
I'm kind of interested that he misplaces it there, because like my thinking was they may have been actually going for defender on the possibly on the fire elemental to just have more health on the taunts, because there's a lot of aggression coming out from Freakeh's deck. But
that's a nice play out of Freakeh though. He is going to be able to get his own fire elemental out and clear out the other one with the assistance of a lightning bolt.
Insane top deck there, getting the lightning bolt. Couldn't be better for 7 mana there. So that's actually absolutely huge there.
This puts Theude in a really bit of an awkward position here. I mean, he can use the one of the hexes on that fire elemental, but he doesn't really necessarily want to. The rock is nice though. He can use that to clear out that shade.
I think totem hex and rock biter is most likely gonna come down here. I think double hexing would be a mistake, because it's Alexstrasza and
I mean, especially with that with the shade still at just 3 health with the rock biter, you can definitely pick that off. It's the second rock biter, so it's gonna be a little sad not having any left. But at the same time, you really need that hex for some of the bigger creatures like that Alexstrasza that's sitting in Freakeh's hand. All right, give me a little bit of thought. Other than that, I mean, he doesn't really have particularly many options here, and it's going to have to be the hex on the fire elemental, and he is going to go for that now. Probably. Maybe.
I mean, there's a small chance he goes for the defender of Argus on the frog, and goes for rock biter as well. But I think it's probably not the better play because he has nothing to follow up then.
Yeah.
You know?
This is a still a fairly awkward position for Theude, even though he is going to be able to get that cleared out. And okay.
You actually go for that. That's
yeah, he can. Okay, yeah, he can use that to clear the frog and then still have the mana for the rock biter.
I think, you know, it's very likely to come down to a top deck scenario here.
Yeah, and
I'd say.
That does, I would say, favor Freakeh at the moment just because of the cards he actually has in his hand. And what's he going to draw here? Another Belcher. That's really nice.
Absolutely huge. There.
Yeah, and the next card that Theude draws is going to be so important here. And it's a Feral Spirit. It's not terrible. It's going to give him some board presence. And I mean, the Overload's not too big of a deal because he doesn't really have anything big in his hand, and he's already going to be sitting at 10 mana next turn. So
he will have to hex here, I believe. It's quite desperate, but he just, I mean, the Slot Belcher will get like a 3 of 3 for 1 if he doesn't, you know. So, as unfortunate as that is, you know, even possibly a Flame Tongue, but I think that's too greedy. I think Feral Spirit, Hex, and Totem here is most likely.
Well, gonna open to the Totem by the looks of it. And yeah, I mean, he could use the Flame Tongue and then attack into that, but you really don't want to be doing that because he's going to lose the Argus, he's going to lose anything else he uses to attack into that. There's the Hex. No more Hexes left in the deck, which means that the Alexstrasza doesn't really have an answer for it in the hand right now. And we've got some really nice board presence here for Theude now with 5 minions out, but when that Alexstrasza comes out, he doesn't really have a way to kill it. Yeah, I mean, he can kill it with the Flame Tongue by sacrificing a whole bunch of stuff into it, but that's... Oh, wow. Talk about top decks.
That's like his third dream top deck now in a row.
Totem first to try to get the spell power, I guess.
Yeah, like he gets Lightning Bolt, absolutely the best card he could have drawn. Slot Belcher among the best cards, and now Lightning Storm.
If he totems out a spell power totem now,
that's actually
we need to erect a shrine and start worshipping Freakeh as the god of RNG.
That would be so sick.
And he gets it. Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
Goodbye the entire board.
That's actually game, and Theude is actually smiling.
He doesn't have anything in his hand to deal with, like, anything. I mean, what's he going to top deck? Lightning Storm, that's not going to help.
There's nothing for him. He just has to totem pass.
This is disastrous now, and that essentially should be Freakeh with a 2-0 lead unless something goes horribly wrong.
Yeah, I mean, he has nothing for Alexstrasza. Like, his only bet against Alexstrasza would have been just to ignore it and go face, you know, but at 25 health before,
yeah, I mean,
and
both
now with everything.
Gone.
Yeah, now with everything, but he has Alakir.
Gets an Alakir now. That's
about as good as you get.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much better to get, but I mean,
he could kill the Slot Belcher with the Alakir.
Yeah, but he's gonna use both of his attacks on that. He's still gonna have a slime.
Well, he can actually attack
he can play the Flame Tongue actually. And okay, actually, yeah, Alakir Flame Tongue is the play here, I think.
And one thing here I'd like to say, I think it's actually, never mind. Yeah. I think it's better to place it there exactly. That's what I was commenting on, but then he was actually going for it. Yeah, Flame Tongue there, go like here. Wonder what the second attack will go on. I think it's likely that
face,
it will be,
I guess.
I think face or Spell Power Totem, but I think face is actually more likely. Yeah, he's going for the face.
And I think that is the right call here.
Yeah.
Like you said, his best bet against Alexstrasza is going to be trying to just kill him. And I mean,
he's most likely going for an Earth Shock here. I'd say, like, no matter what he plays other than that, but
he can Alexstrasza Earth Shock together. I mean, doesn't really. Oh, he's gonna play the Novish Inventor though. That's a little interesting.
I actually prefer that. I think. And
Lava Burst. Wow. That he's the king of RNG, Theude.
Every single top deck here.
This is. Wow. Okay, so Lava Burst comes out. Goodbye, Alakir.
And I think he Earth Shocks the Totem. Yeah. But
there is a Lightning Storm.
He actually kind of has to go face because of the Healing Totem here. Oh no, of course there's 2 damage for the spell damage here. That's true. Lightning Storm gets some value, but now has definitely like a possibility of a comeback here. I think he has to actually wait.
Spell Power Totem again.
He has to wait here though. Like he.
Yeah.
So he has to wait because he
needs to pick off the spider first before using that. Ideally.
Absolutely. But yeah, and I like here. Oh my god.
My god.
Every single turn here he's getting a perfect draw. I wonder what he actually goes for.
Every time Theude draws something decent and looks like he's putting himself in a decent position again, Freakeh just draws something better. And there's not really any way to even deal with the spider now to be able to use that Lightning Storm ideally. And
he's playing really smart around Lightning Storm here. I really like those trades for him. And the egg, okay, this is just over actually.
Yeah, what does he do?
I mean, he's got technically.
Realistically, he's not going to die this next turn.
Yeah,
most likely.
he's got 9, so he'll be at 6 health with like a huge board. He can't Lightning Storm again, you know, he can't.
No.
So, oof. I mean,
and getting the Searing Totem as well, second time in a row, I think.
like the only possibility of him, you know, coming back in this game would be, I think, a second Lightning Storm with Spell Power Totem hitting 4 and 4. It's like the only scenario I can possibly see that will turn this
there's
around.
a Fire Elemental that just got top decked as well, so there's going to be even more stuff coming out of Freakeh next turn, even if the entire board were to be cleared. Harrison Jones comes out. Not ideal, to say the least. Is there anything he can do to survive? No, doesn't look like it.
I find it very interesting they didn't pick this deck against Shaman last time, because I mean, having a Harrison against double Doomhammer is obviously very strong. I'd say, yeah. Could turn the game around.
That's going to be some 2-0 to 3-2 comebacks this tournament.
It's been almost always with Shaman, I think.
Yeah.
It's pretty insane here.
Okay, so, well, we do have Mage.
This looks like mid-mage. It's a very strong deck. I believe it's not favored versus Shaman though. But this start is just insane here, absolutely.
Alright, so, well, Undertaker, Mirror Entity, Loot Hoarder. Yeah, it's actually pretty decent there with the Undertaker starting things out. Feral Spirits here in the hand for Freakeh already, so.
But yeah, this is the thing with these insane aggro decks. Like I mean, you don't have a lot of consistency in them, you know.
Yeah.
You kind of have to wait a few turns and stuff. But wow, that's really strong.
Yeah, this is a really strong start now for Theude, and he's gonna be able to. He's gonna go face, not gonna be picking off that Haunted Creeper. I do like that decision, because otherwise you can always sack those two into killing off the Undertaker.
And the interesting thing with Mirror Entity, actually, that a lot of people don't know is like Mirror Entity doesn't actually work on Feral Spirit because it's a spell, and it's only like minions you absolutely place. So Mirror Image, Animal Companion, Feral Spirit, or Totem, it doesn't proc Mirror Entity here.
I did not know that. Today I learned. Kaldi with the knowledge bombs.
Indeed. So Loot Hoarder,
and then sacking or trading the Undertaker into one of those two Totem or one of those two Feral Spirits, I guess.
Yeah, he could actually hero power the other one down, but I'm not sure he'll actually go for that.
We'll see. Well, Loot Hoarder is looking like it's going to come out or not.
He may want to see
Mad Scientist first to see what kind of trap he gets as another option.
Yeah, I think he's going for that, yeah. He realizes. Well played to Theude here, definitely.
Which does mean that he's going to be pinging that down.
But if he draws something that can help him get the Mirror Entity next turn, it will basically...
Okay.
If you can get the Sludge Belcher, it'll almost be game over, actually, if he gets from the Mirror Entity here. But yeah, it's obviously very early for something to be over here.
Yeah, well, we do have the Feral Spirits dealt with, but that does mean that the Undertaker is almost definitely going to be going down to one of those two spiders. The Counterspell, not really going to have much use against the current hand. Wind Fury, of course, is a spell. Feral Spirit, though.
That's going to be huge.
Oh, right, that's actually a really nice draw for Theude.
It's likely, though. I mean, he only has 2 mana now, so he'll be, you know, kind of be toteming here, but I kind of wonder if he'll go for No Mission Adventure or Belcher next turn, because... And the Kirin Tor Mage, wow, this will set up so nicely. Kirin Tor, Mirror Entity into a possible Belcher, that would just be huge. Oh, and the Mana Worm as well.
Wow.
Mana Worm, Kirin Tor,
this is Karma balancing out the last game here.
Absolutely. Theude has been having a very tough time. He played so well in this tournament, also so well at the BlizzCon qualifiers, but unfortunately he couldn't go. Yeah.
All right, what's it gonna be? Doomhammer's an option. Don't see that coming out.
The No Mission Event will be the best play here, but there's no way of him knowing that that's actually going to be that.
I would guess either Totem and Feral Spirit or Belcher here. And
I think he could possibly...
Probably Belcher.
Yeah, I think Belcher's the most likely play here, but... I mean, he could be expecting a Mirror Entity. You don't see Kirin Tor Mage often, and if you see Kirin Tor...
Oh, he is going to be going with the Inventor. Good play there by
really
Freakeh.
Well played by him, but it's still very good value here for Theude. Could be worse, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
And with the Belcher, he'll basically need the Lightning Storm to come back in this game.
Polymorph comes out as well. That'll be nice to hold on to for later.
Really nice.
Sitting on a Belcher of his own, presumably that'll be the play here. And Kirin Tor is going to trade in with the Gnomish Inventor, surviving with just 1 health. And down is going to go that Spell-Powered Totem as well to the Inventor. And there's the Belcher. 2 damage to face with the Mana Worm as well to finish things off. And things are looking more solid for Theude than they have in any game so far this series.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's definitely ahead here. It'll be interesting to see if he actually realizes... I mean, it could be a duplicate, it could be a counterspell. That's only 2 options here, and he's kind of I mean, the slot buzzer kind of tells him that it might be duplicate, you know, but I don't know. Playing the mana worm on the turn before, kind of, if he thinks about it like that, it would tell him that it's a counter spell. So if he realizes that, I guess the lightning bolt on the 4/1 and the belcher would be the play here, but it's unlikely. I mean, the fire elemental is very strong as well. Anything except the shade and feral spirit would be the play here.
Yeah. All right. Well, Freakeh is giving it a lot of thought. And he's got a lot of good cards in his hand, but I mean, one thing to consider, the biggest thing to consider here is that, of course, there is that counterspell. So if he does play Feral Spirit, that is a waste, and that still activates Overload, right?
Yeah.
So that would be actually very, very disastrous if he were to play Feral Spirit here.
This is about the hardest deck to play against, I'd say, you know, for the Shaman, like playing against this mage, because you have to really have played 12 or 15 games to actually know, you know, to be able to play perfectly around things, but he's playing really well here.
Fire Elemental comes out, Kirin Tor Mage is down, and that's going to be the end of that turn, and Lotheb comes out as well here for Theude. What do you play here?
I think he actually plays Sylvanas here. I mean, the Polymorph is also very strong. That's correct, yeah. He's not playing around the Alastasa. But my thinking is anything except the Lotheb, because you have a counter spell, so you want to be playing spells anyway.
Right. Sitting on a Fireball as well for potential removal later on, or a finisher. He's got a good 8 damage on the board, so you can get him down very, very low in health, and there's no Alexstrasza on hand or anything like that. So things are really rough here for Freakeh, and I mean, he has some really nice cards in his hand, but having to play around that secret is really being a bit of a pain here. I guess the best way to bait it out, if he knows it's a counterspell, would be to use that Earth Shock or the Lightning Bolt.
He's an excellent player, and he's playing this so well. Like, playing around that counter spell with the Lightning Bolt. I mean, I'm really proud of him doing this well.
Yeah, so there's the Feral Spirit. It's going to be nice for him to block the way for a while, and a Shade coming out between them as well.
I have to say I don't like the Feral Spirit here. I think he should have probably gone for the Belcher instead, but it's just my opinion. And the Black Knight,
as you say that, the Black Knight comes out, so Feral Spirit turning out to be a bit of the better play just based on the top deck.
Yeah, absolutely here. Like, it's still quite strong actually to go for the Black Knight. I'm not sure he'll actually gonna be playing around the Belcher. It's a bit unsure here. I think it's gonna be Black Knight or Sylvanas.
Yeah, I would probably play Black Knight here, but I'm pretty bad, so. We do have the Belcher going to be trading into one of those. You can also trade the Mana Worm into the other. Both of them will survive, of course. Opting instead to go with the Nomad Shimbetter and a Ping.
Should be Lotheb now, yeah. I mean, I guess he doesn't have a counterspell, so there's nothing to play around. Maybe playing around the Lightning Bolt. And this played out so well. I mean, he'll have to drop the Belcher. He's not going to drop the Doom Hammer.
He has no other option unless he top decks something crazy here, and that's a Lightning Bolt. That's
nothing for him. This is almost over here, actually. If you see the Belcher coming out with the Black Knight and the, what is it, 11 damage to face.
Plus the Fireball.
Yeah, well, yeah, he'll be in mana trouble at that point. 13 to the face even with the hero power, but this is very, very rough here.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing he can do is Sludge Belcher, and with the Black Knight coming out, the only way Freakeh survives this is if he has an amazing top deck next turn.
Yeah, but
and even then, I mean, if he doesn't have damage to the face this turn, he can just Fireball next turn. And yeah, Theude is looking to put himself on the board. He's getting very, very close to that first win. Belcher is going to be played here. No other option. Literally, the only other thing he can do, other than playing one of those expensive spells, would be a Doom Hammer, which would be fairly useless.
Indeed, indeed. So we see the Black Knight here. You could trade in with the Slime afterwards and hero power the Slime down. That would put him at what?
About the best opportunity he'll have for that Black Knight, so.
Yeah, he'll definitely be going for it here.
Definitely gonna opt for that.
And the thing is, there's no healing in Shaman whatsoever usually, so a Fireball is just gonna finish things out. And I think, yeah, I mean
he's sitting on 12 damage here. Minus whatever. So yeah, he'll be sitting on 10 damage, plus then 6 from the Fireball next turn. That should be it.
But Freakeh with a complete poker face here, not a blink after seeing the Black Knight potentially game ending here. He actually is an excellent poker player and won a lot of money off Rain. Actually, I think about €50 the first night. He also won $20,000 in an open tournament online. I think it was like €50 buy-in, and hundreds of people signed up. He got fourth, I believe, $20,000. Insane.
Damn.
So he's a
I mean, if he gets his spell power here, that would be the most depressing thing ever, because then he clears the board and dies to a Fireball, which is just not a fun situation to be in. He's going to try his best, going to go for the Lightning Storm here. trying to clear what he can, but all of this is essentially pointless as we do have that fireball waiting in the wings and nothing to stop it.
Yeah, there's, I mean...
Very well played from both players. I mean, Freakeh had a very, very rough time here. Theude got some great cards, played himself into a fantastic position early on, and having to play around those secrets, Freakeh really wasn't able to get any traction going, really wasn't able to get any momentum going in his favor, and that's going to be the end of this. So it's going to be 2-1 once again. Freakeh's still in the lead, and what does he pick against the mage, do you feel?
I mean, if he has a warrior, he should definitely be going for warrior, and I believe he does, actually. No, wait, this is actually the mid-mage, not the freeze mage. It will be interesting. This mid-mage actually loses to all sorts of aggro, so if he has any type of hunting, I think this is a huge mistake. Probably Freakeh's first mistake this evening. Like, he's been playing absolutely brilliantly, but especially with the secrets, you can't really play around these secrets.
And this is such a fantastic starting hand here for Theude, and a terrible starting hand for Freakeh.
Absolutely, no ramp at all.
Disastrous for him already, and I mean, he's going to be going up against Mad Scientist turn 2, potentially even Kirin Tor Mage later on. And I mean, this is just a fantastic starting hand for Theude. Wild Growth comes out, that's nice, but
that's like the lifesaver here for him. There's a possibility of I think he has to go Mad Scientist. He has to figure.
Yeah, I mean, you want to also start buffing up that Undertaker, and I mean, otherwise, I guess Kirin Tor Mage into Mirror Entity now is not the most useful thing yet. You want to be keeping that Mirror Entity for a bit into the mid game. You don't want to be copying something like the Haunted Creeper.
Yeah, I think it's also that he really wants to save the coin for the Black Knight here, for the possibility, but this plays out so well. Really plays out well.
Wrath comes out, so that's going to be the end of that Undertaker here, and
definitely well played there by Freakeh.
Yeah, he does have that Shade now as well, so he is drawing cards that he can play, which is a bit of a saving grace there from that horrible starting hand. Kirin Tor Mage, Mirror Entity coming out now. And, well, face from the Mad Scientist.
This is quite interesting. This is actually about the only scenario you can get a 2-2 Shade, you know, on your turn. Like, actually being able to play with well, attack with a 2-2 Shade, you know, in this scenario here.
Alright, so Spectral Knight comes out as well. So he really is drawing some good cards here. Oh, Shade of Naxxramas.
So it will be 3-3 immediately. That's quite interesting. Yeah.
Okay, so a Shade of Naxxramas now for Theude as well. Shapeshift's going to take down that Mad Scientist.
Things are looking up. He's probably going to ping and go for second Mad Scientist.
Alright, let's see what the spell is, or what the secret is. Theude? You know you want to check?
He has to check.
He's living on the edge. He doesn't need to know. He's going to wait to be pleasantly surprised when an ice block comes out.
Oh god.
Well, Mad Scientist is going to be the play here, and ping on one of those two spiders should be... Okay, duplicate. Ooh.
Interesting.
Okay.
Mad Scientist duplicate is so nice. It's such good value, especially in this position. But, I mean, the rack is not ideal here, but any value, I guess. He kind of needs to, you know, in this matchup, it really comes down to board control, who can kind of, you know, snowball out of control here. And it seems like that's definitely going to be Theude in this game here. There's a lot of possibilities to come back, though.
Well, going for face now with the Shade as well, so that is going to give the opportunity for Freakeh to trade Shades if he were to so desire. Oh, he draws an Ancient of Lore. Nothing he can play. He can play the Spectral Knight, but that's really not what he wants to be doing here, as he's already fairly low in health. He's down to just 18 health here.
Indeed, yeah.
This is looking like a very, very fast potential win for Theude, and the Spectral Knight comes out. That's not going to do anything this turn. He's going to trade Shades, which I do think is the right call, but now that's going to give 2 Shades here to Theude.
Yeah, I think if Theude actually draws a Fireball here...
He can also coin out 2 Shades if he doesn't, so...
I mean, for the possibility of a later game Fireball, but this is interesting, actually. I think there's a possibility of running both the minions into the Spectral Knight, but it's not the strongest, I guess. But then you want to see...
I mean, he would still have a relatively decent board here if he did play the 2 Shades, plus he'd have that extra secret coming out of the Mad Scientist. And next turn, the only thing that Freakeh can do at the moment is play an Ancient of Lore.
Which could be huge if he actually gets a mirror image there.
Yeah, can you imagine that? If he gets a mirror entity and then an Ancient of Lore comes out?
Huge tempo, possibly game ending. Yeah. But looks like he's going to go for the Shade and ping. So that's I like this. Yeah.
Going face.
Seems like he really wants to like rush out the Ragnaros.
Yeah. Well,
what does he top deck here? A Savage Roar, interesting. Doesn't do much good here, but I think actually a heal on the Spectral Knight is gonna come. Oh, actually he goes for face.
Healing on himself.
That makes more sense. But actually he can target the Spectral Knight with. I believe he can target them, yeah, with abilities like Battle Cries and such, or choose ones, I guess you could call them for druids, yeah. So I think he should be going for Undertaker Slot Belcher. That's quite strong.
Yeah.
He's kind of losing the board control.
Yeah, and with with another Ancient of Lore in the hand, Cenarius in the hand as well. Those are some strong creatures that are going to be coming out. Counterspell. That's
not what he wants.
Not what he wants. It'll be nice if the Savage were to come out later on, especially if a Force of Nature were to come at some point.
Yeah.
But I do still think the best play here, like you said, is going to be the Undertaker and the Belcher.
He could go into a Rag, and there's not really a good answer for Rag here for Freakeh. Gonna be interesting.
Yeah, not quite enough mana this turn, but Mana Worm going to be coming out here. That's a little interesting.
You may go for Mana Worm Coin, Undertaker, Slot Belcher, but that leaves him without a Rag next turn.
Yeah.
May could go also Mana Worm Shade Ping, possibility. But personally, I mean, if he's going for the Undertaker, Slot Belcher, I mean, a place on the Black Knight. This is, wow. Okay, what is he gonna play next turn? I think this may have been a mistake here.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't really have a fantastic play next turn unless he top decks something. And
maybe you're thinking about that he can't really clear all this, so he's just gonna be Black Knighting whatever comes down.
Druid of the Claw.
Oof, that's not what.
No, it's not what he wants, but I guess you Ancient of Lore here.
I think this is actually correct by Theude for going for the Mana Worm here for the extra 2/3. It gives him lethal on next turn if he draws correctly. The Black Knight is going to be devastating if he goes for the Druid of the Claw. I mean, what can he do? Heal or go Druid of the Claw?
I mean, he could go Druid of the Claw Savage Roar, but that's going to result in Savage Roar being counterspelled.
Yeah, and I mean, is he going to go for the Druid of the Claw and charge? That's going to be pretty rough.
Yeah.
Of a trade, and I mean, yeah.
I guess he has to go Ancient of Lore heal. Otherwise, he is facing potential death next turn.
That's really well played, though. He must figure that he has a Black Knight, which is quite impressive, honestly, if true.
He's been reading this mage deck very, very well.
Playing absolutely brilliantly.
Last game it wasn't quite enough. This game he's in a rough position, but he is playing fantastically here. And he is still in the lead as Freakeh, so he still has one more chance, even if he does lose this one.
So Shade, Mana Worm, and Hero Power is likely going to come in here.
Yeah.
I think it's very likely that he'll actually kill at 5-2. But how? He's probably, running the slime in, I guess. Quite interesting here.
Definitely the right play here. Black Knight is not a worthwhile play here. So Mana Worm, Shade, and Ping. The question is, what's he going to allocate his damage to? I do think it's, like you said, probably the right call to kill that 5-2. The rest may be face. He's still sitting on that taunt there with the slime.
This is quite good. Then that means he can't really attack into the shade here that he really wants to be attacking into. So I like this better. Yeah.
And
both these guys playing absolutely brilliantly.
Yeah.
Hats off to them.
And Theude is getting him very, very low on health once again. And what's the top deck going to be here from Freakeh? Savage Roar.
That's
not at all good. And that actually could be the end of this with a very, very solid hand. I mean, a couple of solid cards in the hand of Theude with that potential Rag next turn.
Yeah, we'll come down to essentially, probably a Rag next turn, giving him like a 1-3.
There is lethal if he doesn't. Well, I mean, there's lethal right now on the board because he'll have 2 more attack there with those 2 shades.
Yeah.
He's got 12 damage on the board right now.
But he's definitely going to be playing Scenarios or Druid of the Claw and Taunt, both of them. I guess, yeah. Scenarios is the only way he's actually staying alive here. With the 2.
Even still, though, with the Black Knight coming out on one of those in the... I mean... I think he won't have lethal next turn.
I think if he goes for the Druid of the Claw, he should be going Rag, and if he goes for the... No, if he goes for the Claw, he's going to go Black Knight, and if he's going for the Scenarios, it should be a Rag. Yeah. For a 1-3 lethal, and, you know, the other options are very good targets as well, going for the 5-5 or the 5-8. So it's really a no-lose scenario.
Oh, taking his time. Does decide to go into the slime there with that 5-5.
The correct play, again. every single turn here is going for the correct play. Really impressive.
And there's Scenarius with the double taunt. And like you said before, both these guys are just making all the right plays. Counterspell comes out. He's already sitting on one, so can't play that. And Ragnaros was what you would have called this.
Yeah,
I'm inclined to agree, because you are pretty good at this game.
Puts him down to 6 health, potentially. And with I mean, the worst case scenario, 6 health, and he has a 5/8 on the board, you know. But and also a lot of but that means leaves a full board for Theude.
The other potential thing that he can also do is clear out the 2 taunts, do 3 damage, and then if Rag goes face, he wins.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Going for the Rag, but. I mean, in the worst case scenario, Rag is still good, so I think Rag is what's he gonna go for here.
I mean, picking off those 2 taunts, any target that Rag can pick is not a particularly bad one.
Also in this position, I mean, he has a counter spell, so that's really strong. That denies all the swipes and you know, removals that he could potentially have, and taunts don't also help him because he has the Black Knight. So there's really
there's no answer to the cards in the hand of Theude right now. Time beginning to run out. There we go. Picking up both of those, and face with both those cards, which means Rag's going to come out. A 33% chance of a win here. What's your money on, Kaldi? Quick.
Scenarios.
Oh. And that's it. Theude ties it up. Freakeh will lose with his Shaman decks, or with his Druid deck, rather.
So would have been the better play in this scenario.
All right, so once again, Mad Scientist coming into the starting hand with Counterspell and a Rag.
I do believe that the Rogue is in a better position here. I think it's. I'd rather be playing the Rogue here than the Mage, absolutely.
So what do you think of the starting hands here?
It's not bad for either of them. Like Rag is really good against Rogue, you know, but not right now, I guess. The Mirror Entity is very tricky as well. It's most likely going to be getting. I wonder if he's going to coin SI7. That'd be a pretty strong play into Shade. I think that's what's going to happen actually. So.
All right.
Depends on what secret he draws actually, but
so
coin SI7, Shade, wow, Violet Teacher, Azure Drake into some Goddess on turn. He also has the Leroy in hand. This is looking rough for Theude. Really looking rough for him.
There goes the first Mad Scientist. What's the secret gonna be? Counterspell.
That doesn't no good here.
No, that's not ideal to say the least. Nothing to particularly deal with that SI7. He's going to play the Mirror Entity. That's really the only thing he can do here.
And he has the perfect answer to that, which is the Shade of Naxxramas here, upcoming.
Yeah, and he has another SI7 potentially as well. I would say Shade here is the play.
Yeah, definitely. It comes down to, do you think he'll actually trade on the following turn? He has a 3/3 Shade then.
He is going to go SI7 here. That's going to give an SI7 out of Theude. It's a whole bunch of SI7 agents on the board. And boom.
Comes out about the same, yeah.
Yeah. Leaving us in the same position we were before, a -1 secret. There's a Water Elemental here for our Mage, and that's not a terrible draw.
Yeah, it
gives him something to play this turn at least.
That actually turned the game around.
Yeah, with the 6 health, that's a very durable creature.
Especially against this board. It's just...
Yeah, it's almost definitely going to take out that SI7. He gets another Water Elemental. Should go for the Belcher here, though.
Yeah, that'd be my choice there. But Water Elemental and Hero Power next turn is not bad either. Waiting for the Black Knight. I wonder if he's actually going to go for the Black Knight on the following turn. I think this Rogue deck plays 1 Belcher, I believe. 1 or 2 Belchers. I'm unsure. But some of them absolutely play, when they use the Shade, they also have the Belchers. It's interesting.
Well, the Belcher does come out now for Theude. And, well, with 5 mana here, Drake, I guess, would be the best play here for Freakeh. Wants to get a little bit more draw going. And, of course, gets him a little bit of board presence as well. Nothing on the board that can actually kill that without the assistance of the Hero Power. It gets a backstab as well, which is going to be really nice draw, in conjunction with the Auctioneer. But actually uses it now.
This kind of evens things out.
Oh, but it's a counterspell, so it's a little... But yeah.
Still gets him the minion, yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting, definitely. Like, just that Water Elemental turns everything around. It's gonna get a 2 for 1 with that. Well, 2 for 1.5. But yeah. Let's see. What would you go for here?
He could trade that. Trade one of those 2 into the Drake there with the ping. Additionally, he's also got the second Water Elemental in hand to play as well. So I kind of like the idea of trading into 1 Water Elemental and playing the other.
Yeah.
And yeah, looking to get rid of both of the bigger guys, leaving the 1/1 on the board by the looks of it.
I think he's probably going to be pinging that. He may actually ping the Archer Drake as well. I mean, getting rid of the spell damage is always nice when you have a lot of minions on the board. So, very strong play by Theude. He's really turning this around. And the Water Elemental with the freeze will just be absolutely a nightmare for Freakeh. And a Loatheb, wow, that's really nice. It can't get much better than that.
Yeah, I mean,
he has 2-3 drops to follow up, but you know, for the next turn. The thing with in this deck that has so many minions is that the interesting. I guess he's not going for the other ring because it would be too good for the Water Elemental to trade into, but now you can
and he doesn't really want to waste the heal when he could have used it on himself as well.
But the thing with this deck, it runs a lot of minions, but it doesn't run as many spells, so the Auctioneer will be a lot slower in retrospect with this.
Right.
I think
so. The play here, what would you say the play here is?
I think slamming Black Knight is probably the only way to go, but it's still quite rough. You have to play quite fast.
Yeah, I mean, like you said before, there's really not going to be any real taunt here. The only taunt that we could be seeing is one Belcher, and attacking face there with that Water Elemental will freeze him, and the Shade's going to grow a little bit more here. No Shadow Steps still, which is a little...
The thing I find quite interesting is the Undertaker. It doesn't really fit in here, especially with Root Cutter in hand. Like, what does he actually gain from having that? It's interesting.
So, this is looking a little bit awkward now for Freakeh because he doesn't have any of the Shadow Steps. He doesn't have board control. He's trying to do a little bit of damage here to try to draw some cards with the Shiv. He gets Edwin Van Cleef, which is pretty nice.
But not now. He needs a lot
he doesn't need it now. He's going to go Loatheb. That gives him some board control. Not really any spells in the hand other than Counterspell, which is not a huge deal right now. And Sylvanas comes out as well. So the Loatheb's Battle Cry is not going to be particularly helpful, but it does get him a 5/5 on the board.
Yeah, I think, trading the Black Knight into the Shade would be ideal here, and going for face with the Water Elemental. Put him in a really good position, because he can't really deal with the Rag. I mean, what is he going to do against the Rag? Go Leroy into it, you know, and even then he's going to not be able to clear, you know, like... There's no answer for this. If he hits the Loatheb here.
Theude is in a really good position to make a full comeback. That's insane.
Oof,
now the Rat does go face, doesn't take out the Loatheb. A Shiv comes out as well.
Again, very interesting. He kind of has to... I'm not sure what he can do. He has to kill the Rag.
Man, it's another Auctioneer too. It's not what he was looking for at all.
This is beyond rough for Freakeh, and he's looking quite disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do in this position? Like you said before, even if he did play the Leroy, he won't be able to actually finish off that Ragnaros. It'll be stuck there with 2 health. And a Blade Flurry is going to come out, which is going to clear out one of those minions, and he can use the Loatheb on the other, but...
It's a stall, really, here.
Yeah. The Van Cleef is nice to have. I mean, it's better than nothing. 6/6 is reasonable, but he's still sitting on that 8/7 Ragnaros with only 15 health left on the Rogue. Loatheb's going to come out as well.
And the thing is that Freakeh's Loatheb can't actually attack on next turn, so
yeah,
if he hits the one Cleef, you know, it's pretty horrible for Freakeh, you know. But depends. I mean, at this point, if he just draws a Fireball, everything is open for a lethal on the next turn, you know.
Yeah. Best case now for Freakeh is if that Ragnaros targets the Loatheb, and he's praying, as you can see up there. He really wants that. As basically the Loatheb, as you said, is essentially useless this next turn, so targeting that would be ideal. And it does go for the Loatheb, so Freakeh
such an interesting game going
in this. I did dub him the God of RNG earlier, so maybe it can make a bit of a comeback. Conceal, not going to be helpful this turn with the Loatheb out, but it can definitely help with the Gadget and Action Auctioneer if you can hold on for just a little bit longer. But he doesn't have a way to kill the Rag.
Yeah, he actually shivved the... he shivved another minion
the Water
before.
Elemental
yeah,
before,
the Water Elemental before.
That Rag.
He could have shivved the Rag, but I mean, in hindsight, it looked better to save the Water Elemental in that case. He was hoping for a Sap or some sort of Eviscerate on that, but... I mean,
so even what do you go for here? I mean, I'm feeling you go for the Van Cleef into the Loatheb and then play an Auctioneer and an Earthring. Because I mean, you still have the other Auctioneer next turn for the Conceal.
I think there's almost nothing you can do here. Like, yeah, there's almost nothing.
Oh, he has to play like a guy. Freakeh has his head in his hands, and he is going to take out the Loatheb there. Is going to go for the Auctioneer and is going to go for that Earthring Farseer, healing up probably himself. Yeah. Mirror Entity too.
That's gonna be huge.
God. This is brutal. And he's still sitting on a Sylvanas as well. Another good card.
I wonder if he'll draw first. I think he probably will. It comes down to a counterspell though.
And of course that also allows him to pick off the Van Cleef, which is one less target for that Rag.
I mean, in this scenario, a counterspell is awesome, and the Mirror Entity is very strong as well. An Undertaker, very nice drop here. But Freakeh really...
Ideal world for Freakeh is that Earthen Ring Farseer is the one to take the brunt of this attack. Undertaker's going to come out as well as the Sylvanas here, and going to play the counterspell too, which I do like, so that's going to not allow that Gadgets and Auctioneer Conceal combo to be a thing, and down goes the Auctioneer. He's still got another one. But
worst situation, yeah, here, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, he does have an Eviscerate, so he can Auctioneer, Conceal, and then
Eviscerate
and Earthen Ring Farseer into that Ragnaros, which will finally get rid of the Rag, and he still does get to draw. And he gets another Conceal too, which is really nice. This is a really nice set of draws here now out of Freakeh, and Eviscerate's going to come down, he's going to draw again, he's going to do a lot of damage, he's going to trade in that Earthen Ring Farseer, and all of a sudden, Rag is no longer an issue.
I mean, one sap and he's back in the game here. And, I mean, with the Conceal next turn, what is he going to do? It really depends.
He gets a prep too. I mean, that's,
wow. He can't
if he draws a spell next turn, that's great. And even if he doesn't, it's still draw. And he's actually going to play it to try to draw something.
I think that's like the first misplay I've seen Freakeh do in a long time here.
Ooh, Polymorph, but I mean...
The Mirror Entity now.
Mirror Entity for sure. He doesn't really have much else to do, and I guess he just has to go face with the rest of the damage.
Yeah.
And I mean, Theude is still in a good position here, but it's looking more precarious.
I think one Fireball can upset this entire thing, but it depends a lot on what he draws now.
What's it gonna be? It's a deadly poison.
He has to go for it, but
he really does. I mean,
the prep would have been so much better, like another draw, and then it's just more mana and stuff. It's just pretty rough here.
Yeah. So does he go Violet Teacher Shade? I guess that's the best play here.
I think he has to go Blood Mage first, because he knows it's not a counterspell.
Oh, he goes Violet Teacher first.
Oof, Freakeh making another misplay here.
1, 2.
That actually potentially game ending.
That puts him on lethal. He's gonna have to get rid of something, and he does. He does trade in the Auctioneer. And yeah, I mean, 9 damage on the board. He gets a Kirin Tor Mage though. Doesn't get any additional damage here. Freakeh will survive this turn.
I think the best scenario here is actually just going for face and polymorphing and pinging the face. You know, wonder if he plays the Kirin Tor. I think it's the way to go, but.
Okay, well, let me do some mental math quick. So we have 3 damage on the weapon. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Oh wait, he's actually only got 8 damage. Wait, he's got 9, yeah, 9 with the ping. So he'll be on 1 health, and he's already used 1 Earthen Ring, and most people don't run 2 Earthen Ring. Very few run Alistraza. There could be an Alistraza.
Now, the thing to consider as well is that, so he does have the polymorph, of course. So the chat, like, even if we get a Shadow Step out of Freakeh, he won't have lethal.
Interesting, he's going for it on the Violet. I would have thought the Gadgets would be the target.
Whoa,
ooh.
Okay. There we go.
Okay,
we're back.
Thank God.
Not the first time that's happened today, but we're all good. Okay, so Polymorph looking like it's going to come down on the Violet Teacher here.
I think these guys are under the, like, a lot of nerves going on at the moment.
Yeah, this is so... This was what looked like a comfortable win here for Theude, and it's gotten itself into a very precarious position here where, even though he's still in a good position, this could swing the wrong way with one misplay, or just one really good top deck, and we see Theude opting to play safe instead. Oh, he's actually going to completely clear the board by stealing that Shade of Naxxramas.
I'm not sure about this one. I think, you know, looking back on it, it's... I think if he was playing this at home, you know, no stress at all, he would have definitely gone for face there. You know, he thinks there's no healing left for Freakeh. He must know that no one runs, or very few people actually run the double Earthen Ring in this deck.
Looks like Freakeh's computer may still be having a couple issues. We haven't seen what he's drawn yet.
Yeah. I mean, he looks to be thinking at least, so got that going.
I'm wondering if he actually drew, or if he's still trying to reconnect. Because we're seeing the screen of Theude for the most part. Well, what we got right now is we got a Leroy Jenkins in hand, we have a Blood Mage Thanos in hand, and a 3-1 weapon. So, I mean, the top deck is obviously the most important thing right now, and the way things look, Theude is still in a good position here. He's got a Carrying Tor Mage in hand. He's got a 3-4-1-1 and that soon-to-be 3-3 Shade out as well. But at the moment, that's 9 damage again. He still doesn't have lethal unless he draws some sort of damage next turn. We're trying to sort out this issue, guys. This is actually really, really bad. His timer's running out. This is quite disastrous. I'm not sure what happens now.
So,
oh, he pulls a sap.
So basically, what happened?
That. Okay, so what? So basically, there was a computer issue there for.
It showed on both
Freakeh.
screens that there was the enemy's turn, and it reconnected like a second before.
So Freakeh did not have enough time to take his turn. This is really awkward now. We're gonna have to get the admins involved and see what's gonna happen here. Can't really talk too much about the game right now, guys, as both players do have their soundproof headsets off.
Indeed.
So
But this was, yeah,
this
very,
is
very
something
close.
that I've never seen before. A bug that I've never seen before.
This actually happened to me in the Viacom qualifier.
Oh,
Well, no,
man.
Yeah. But that was resulted in a regame, and
Yeah, I mean, the issue here is that, like, this is so far into the game, you really don't want to force a regame here. I mean, even if we just let Theude's turn run out here, he still has an extra card. Both players have an extra card, which makes it unfair for that as well.
there's no way they're continuing this, I think.
So this is a very, very awkward situation. We're not entirely sure what to do here. This is when you don't want to be an admin.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, we're just gonna have to wait and see what the admin call is, guys. I mean, players are discussing with each other as well here. Man. This is very, very rough. Very rough on both players as well.